Hi everyone, it's Mike with Crane Realty. Hope you're all doing really well. Thanks again for coming to our YouTube channel where we bring to you updated information with regard to the real estate market here in the Rochester and Finger Lakes area. This video we're covering last month's inventory, January 2024, just seeing what type of start we're getting off to, and maybe that'll provide some indications for the spring market that's unfolding currently. So without much delay, let's jump right into the numbers and see what that looks like. We'll be taking a look over the last 5 years. Again, number of new listings over here. Looking at it as a month view, and I'll also be breaking down as far as the list price too. I think will be an interesting piece that I'm going to wrap up with. If you look at it as a chart view, it looks something like this over the last 5 years. You could see this trajectory with the summer peaks and that trajectory clearly going down. The bottom indicators here, that holiday, that backswing of the market, and then the springtime on the right side of the peak headed up. So that's what we're trying to see. Hopefully we can surpass what we did last year. So far, not off to a particularly great start. You can see over the last 5 years, for the month of January, we're already off to the lowest number of new listings for a January over the last 5 years. Even back in 2019, we certainly had a lot more inventory to look at, roughly almost double than what we're currently sitting with. And at that point, it was about a seller's market. And then obviously everyone knows what happened in 2020 and the impact that that had created a lot of uncertainty, as you could see, for the year to follow. 2022, we were really kind of getting back on track. The inflation, or yes, the federal interest rate, things obviously were a lot more desirable for the previous 2 to 3 years. And then that big shift taking place mid 2022, leading to much fewer homes being put onto the market. So just basic supply and demand, basic economics. When you have a decrease of supply, but a increase or still a high calling for buyers that are looking to purchase, it's going to drive up the price. Fortunately for out-of-state buyers, I think that has certainly weaned off a bit. Myself, and I know talking with many other brokers and realtors, that has been their experience as well. As far as how we're easing into the spring market, definitely seeing a lot of offers, still very competitive, a lot of cash, escalations going for up and over asking, and have been seeing some of those 10, 15, 20 offer scenarios, more when you get closer to Rochester and desirable locations surrounding it, of course. And then as you kind of get further in the outskirts of that, a little less competition, less population density, right? So less people looking in that area. So might be something that's driving people in that direction to possibly increase their likelihood of being a little bit more competitive. I'll switch gears here and show list price, and let's generate what that looks like. And if we can look at it as a chart view, I actually think that this is kind of informative. So out of those new listings that we've seen in here, let me change to the last, let me see here, custom, and I'll also change that to January. So we only want to look at the past. Yeah, we can even include this month just to see what we're getting ourselves into. All right, so as you can see right here, just under 35, that's for new listings, looking from January to current date, and how many are between $0 all the way up to 100K. So if you were in that camp, you would expect somewhere in the ballpark of just under 35 listings for Ontario County is what the area that we're looking at. When you take the next step up, and I can change the dates and we can continue to kind of look at this, this is actually the most telling piece of information for me. For a lot of first-time homeowners, you're going to be in the camp of 100K, 150K, and generally under 200K, right? And that's understandable. You're starting out in your career, you're just getting established and you're looking for a place to live coming off of renting for a lot of people. And that's generally the price range that a lot of people have been looking in. There's not a lot that satisfies people in the price range, and this is just for new listings that are hitting between 100K to 150K. Only 15 since the start of January to today. So not a whole lot there. That next tier going from 150 up, you see it actually bounce up just a little bit. But past that point, pretty much anything as you start to get, 250K and up, if you were to actually tally all of these, there's actually more listings from 200K and up than there really are, or if I were to take the time to add up each and every one of these, as you can see, here's the 10 indicator right here. A lot of them breaking that, and a few that are just over 200K and up. If you were to add up the number of listings, certainly surpassing what you can put together right here, or getting really close to it at the very least. So for new first-time homeowners who have to be looking, if their budget's under 200K, as far as the inventory, traditionally we have seen it in the past, back in the 2010s, a lot, this whole price tier right here in particularly, there was a lot more listings to look at that price range. And I'm wondering if I can actually just change that up really quick here, just so we can go from January to December. And let me go back to like 2010, and then I'll do, just to contrast, 2010 to prior to it turning into a seller's market. So let's give ourselves a little bit of time there. So as you can see, a lot more properties in that lower price point, going from $0 up to 100K, and then after that going from that 100 to 150. Compared to our previous slide that I just showed you, where it's not this level of uniformity, going from lower price points having the most, then slowly moving their way down as far as inventory goes. It's kind of in fluctuation right now, and it seems like roughly half of the new listings are 200K and above. So we haven't really kind of balanced things out yet, and we're developing a new normal here in the Rochester and Finger Lakes area. We'll see how long that takes. Hopefully things will kind of balance out. I'm not holding my breath for regard to 2024 and how things are shaping up, as the spring market already seems very aggressive already. I know the federal interest rate is hovering around 7%. Things will open up and kind of alleviate the market a little bit with new listings when we actually start seeing the interest rate drop down. Supposedly a nice trigger spot would be about 6%. Certainly if things hit 5%, a lot of sellers who would be homeowners will put their homes onto the market, and now they can actually stomach that new interest rate, whereas they're currently sitting on what they've purchased in the past, being an attractive 4% or lower, or they've done a refinance. A lot of sellers are in this mindset of, well, I can sell my property and that's great, but I don't know where to go selling and purchasing for a higher amount, and then now I'm locked into this interest rate that's double what it was before. So for a lot of people, they don't want to take that on, hence the lack of inventory. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, feel free, hit the thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of our content, which comes out each and every week. Again, I'm Mike with Crane Realty, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.